In 2023, Peter Obi will have been good. Tinubu Atiku can't fix Nigeria. Ango, Abdullahi. Convener of the Northern Elders Forum, Professor Ango, Abdullahi, has said the present crop of presidential candidates cannot fix Nigeria, though he gave what would have passed for a fair assessment of the presidential candidates of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and that of the New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, Senator Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. Abdullahi was emphatic about the presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the main opposition People's Democratic Party PDP, Atiku Abubakar, saying they had nothing to offer. He argued that they had been around the political climate for a long time without commensurate positives to show for it, but noted, however, that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who contested the primaries in APC, and a former banker, Muhammad Ayatuddin, who also aspired for the ticket in the PDP, will have been better president as technocrats. To this end, Abdullahi, who was also former Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University's ABU Zaria, said he will not queue behind any of the candidates in terms of providing support. Abdullahi said he would rather tell Nigerians to brace up for the trouble ahead of them should any of the candidates becomes the next president. I hope he's not using a crystal ball to see what will happen ahead. We need a divine intervention in this matter. Nobody wants to go through what has been happening in the last several years. Everybody is clamoring and praying for a better situation in our country. The elder statesman bare his mind on major contemporary national issues with the Vanguard at the weekend. He said, no one still have not got the man who we think will fix Nigeria. What we have on ground is not good enough. How can you look at Tinubu and Atiku to say they are the one who will fix this country? They have been on the ground for the last 25 years and so on. What have they done? What are you looking for? I was the one who encouraged a technocrat to join this consensus. You probably had seen Muhammad Ayatuddin in the group of people going around looking for a consensus arrangement in PDP. I was one of those who encouraged him. He has not got the material. We haven't got the materials on the ground, unfortunately. Peter Obi, unfortunately, I don't know him that much. He's a young man. He was the former governor of Anambra State, and he is a businessman. Kwankwaso is a good young man. He started his politics with us, and he is quite smart. No doubt about it. Of course, he had some of this bad debt that he acquired or he must have picked in other political formations and so on, but clearly he's one of the bright ones around. No doubt about that. I believe we have not had a good array of politicians, with due respect to some of them, that one saw contesting. have not been selfish here by referring to certain people like Professor Osinbajo. He is a quality material, but the political system will not tolerate him. Ask if what Osinbajo did by running against his political godfather Tinubu was not tantamount to betrayal of loyalty and trust. Abdullahi said those were not what the country needed. What has it got to do with what Nigeria wants? Is he a slave to the former governor? I don't understand this kind of analogy. Professor Osinbajo is a human being entirely on his own merit, and his accomplishments are entirely his own, and people should assess him as such. Those who needed his services asked for his services. When he served as the Attorney General of Lagos State, he was invited by the political system of Lagos State. This is the way I look at it, and when he became vice president, I understand it is the president party that identified him as a qualified and competent enough to be the vice president in the current dispensation. Why shouldn't he be? Because he served under XYZ He should be identified as an individual for leadership in the country, he said. While asking Nigerians to prepare for the troubled days ahead, should any of the candidates become president in 2023, which of them? Abdullahi said, "What I will tell Nigeria is that we are in trouble, and my way out of is for Nigerians to agree that Nigeria is in trouble and that the machineries that are on ground today that are expected to find solution to the challenges facing Nigeria are not appropriate, and we have to go back to the drawing board to see what we can do to save the Nigeria of the future. I believe the politicians have failed. My belief is that the political class have over the years failed to produce the kind of quality leadership we require to deal with the problems of Nigeria, and which means that we should look for quality materials, not necessarily within the mainstream political parties, from outside. And there have been a lot of discussion in Nigeria recently about technocrats." Abdullahi also decried the 100 million naira cost of the presidential nomination forms by the APC before the primary elections. He regretted that the country's elders have either gone to sleep or joined the politicians rather than working to rescue the country from imminent collapse. How can you pick a form for 100 million? For what? I mean, this is a clear sign of irresponsible corruption, because somebody whose total salary in 4 years, assume is the president, is total legitimate. I like the word legitimate salary is for 4 years, will be, I think, 34 million naira, even with the current salary that is being given to president. Now, wow. Why will you pick a form for 100 million and you are not even sure you are going to win the election? So these are signs that the entire political system is corrupt, and unless we go back to the drawing board and do the correct things that will make Nigeria participate in the process, there will never be a time we will have good candidates from the grassroots. How can you say it is only one person from my local government who can represent me to elect the president? How? How did you arrive at that? The elders have relaxed themselves in the crowd of irresponsible political class, and they are just shouting like all the politicians are shouting during campaigns. There is no difference between the elders now and the politicians on ground, as far as I'm concerned. But what I thought the elders should do is to agree that this country needs real fixing, and therefore we should sit down and seriously look at all the issues and objectively and honestly and truthfully agree that these issues facing Nigeria, not the issues facing Northeast, Northwest, North Central, or Southeast, or Southwest, or South, should be tackled head-long. What a candid advice. I hope our politicians are listening. I hope they are ready for the task ahead. Until and unless we begin to see this country as one, instead of mentioning ethnic group, mentioning tribe, talking about religion, we may take us a longer time to get to the promised land. Nigeria should be the focus, not I am from the north, I am from the west, east, or south. That will not save or change anything. Nigeria, and that is when everybody will be focused that this is our common, this is our country, and we must do everything within our powers to make sure it is fixed. The young, the old, the politicians, the non-politicians, we should be working about making Nigeria great. Well, what is your opinion about this from Professor Ango Abdullahi, that Atiku and Tinubu can't fix Nigeria? Kindly make your opinion known as you subscribe to my page. Thank you, good day, and God bless.